Hello, everyone. Today, we will talk about budgets. As you know, there is a fundamental saying that comes to mind when you think of money. Stretch your feet according to your blanket. This is the exact definition of a budget, my friends. Creating a budget regularly every month is not only an important financial habit for managing our financial information, but do you think it is practically applicable? I definitely think not. Who would want to live their entire life within a schedule? Friends, there is no such thing in the design of our rich lives. Don't be afraid at all, because I personally hate budgets. In fact, I can say this. I believe that the main reason most people manage their financial affairs so poorly is due to budgets. I can even tell you this. Even those who create budgets hate budgets. As you know, most personal finance books and financial courses focus entirely on budgeting. This is actually a practical advice method that works for us as much as possible. However, as you know, sticking to a budget is quite a heavy burden, both practically and emotionally. Moreover, budgets focus on your small expenses and minor purchases, thus failing to create a significant impact on your finances. The main reason I dislike budgets is that they are fundamentally based on a sense of scarcity. Every penny you spend is tracked. And the moment you go beyond that, a great pain and guilt envelop you. It's like budgeting is a kind of diet, you know. Every bite you take sits heavily in your stomach. As a result, you can never achieve success. In our rich life, there is no suffering, stress, guilt, or struggle, my friends. Within our rich life, there are emotions that nourish us. If we are not making a purchase, we are not doing it consciously. We develop smart, rational financial beliefs, and we do everything in the most natural and proper way possible. As a result, this provides us with more endorphins and greater happiness. Happiness also helps us grow, multiply, and expand. That's why I don't like budgeting. Yes, you can say that. In fact, I love this saying very much. A tiny hole is enough to sink a huge ship. If we don't focus on our small expenses and don't think about them, how can we accomplish great things? I'm not saying this. I believe that all our expenses really need to pass through our own filter. But for that, we need to organize that filter. We are trying to create people who shop in a more thoughtful, rational, logical way, free from emotions, and who do so for enjoyment, transforming their everyday impulses, not to suppress them, but to replace them with something that will benefit them in the long run. Well, then you might ask this. We need to manage our money too. We have a need for that as well. So what will we do? We will create a conscious spending plan. Will this plan consist of schedules? Will it challenge us again? Maybe you can create a schedule for yourself at the beginning. I am also putting this in the system. You can download it from here and fill it out according to your needs. But rather than that, you will do it this way. You will use your expenses in a specific main category. Most of these you already know. Most of them are also available on your credit cards. Now, conscious spending plans are fundamentally based on 3 pillars. The first of these is that we say 50% to 60% of our income goes to 3 basic expenses. What are these? Housing, transportation, and food. We are looking at how much I can reduce these 3. The second thing we will consider is outside of these. Aside from reducing them, for example, can I move to a smaller house? Can I cook for myself instead of eating out? Can I move my home closer to my workplace? Or can I negotiate with my employer about working from home on certain days of the week? By finding alternatives like these, we focus on making improvements in these 3 most important spending categories. The foundation of a financially conscious spending plan primarily focuses on these 3. In the second one, what do we think is the foundation for being able to spend as much as we want without feeling guilty? What is the basis of this? If we had money somewhere and that money was growing on our behalf, while we set it aside every month, what would we do? We would have already made our other major payments. We would comfortably spend the remaining money, right? Because that is already money earned through our own hard work. So what do? We ask ourselves if we have set aside these three items. Have we maximized the effectiveness of these three main expense categories? We have. Now what's next? It's time to look at our savings and investments. I say that I put 10% of my incoming income into a fixed savings account every month. I set up an automatic system. As soon as my salary or money or whatever comes in, 10% goes directly into the automatic savings account. What am I doing with this savings account? I am realizing my dreams and seeing it as money to be used for emergencies. What does it mean to achieve my dreams? I want to be able to go on vacation with my family for a week every year. This also has a specific budget. But what do I usually do? I charge it to my credit card. I struggle to pay it off every month. So what happens to me? I have a certain deficit in my budget every month. Instead, what do? I say that I have such a plan. I will go on vacation with my family on this date. The cost of this vacation is this much. So what should I do? I'm thinking of saving this in my savings account. For this, I say that I will allocate 10% of my monthly salary to this. In this, I think about being able to achieve my dream job when that day comes, and also not having to rely on credit cards in case something happens, like an illness, an accident, my car breaking down, or an urgent repair at home. I want to have some money set aside for those situations. At the same time, when we allocate 11-12%, we automatically set aside 10% for our investment account as well. This is money that we will never touch. Think of it this way. You are living in a house, and this is your rent expense, which is a fixed cost in your life. It's that important. You never touch that 10%. For me, a 10% investment amount is very low from my perspective. I convert much higher portions into investments because, my goal is to be financially free. But at the initial stage, that is, until you gain control over your spending, 10% is a very reasonable level. In the meantime, you should increase by 1% quarterly. If you are having difficulty doing this, increase by a minimum of 1% quarterly. As I said, we set aside 20% for cumulative investment. We allocated between 50% and 60% for our top three main expenses. The 20% that we keep here, you can completely adjust this range of 20% and 30% as you wish. Our expenses among these are all based on our needs. From here, you can use your expenses as you wish. If it is up to you, you can later invest them or add them to your savings. Or you can spend them freely and comfortably with peace of mind. This plan is entirely up to you. It is a plan tailored to you, and over time, it will create a psychological accumulation within you. Before purchasing something, you will see its future value and the returns it will bring you. For example, let's say you bought a piece of clothing. You might say, I am buying this outfit, but I already have a similar one in my closet. Instead of buying this outfit, I should take this money. Let me assign it to my investment account right away. This investment account will allow me to get this outfit for free in 6 months. This will directly become your way of thinking. When it becomes your way of thinking, that's when you will be living your rich life. This feeling will already internally stir you up significantly. You will think to yourself, how wonderful it is to have one's own conscious spending plan. The final stage of conscious spending plans, as I mentioned, is that there is no sense of scarcity that looks back to the past. It is flexible. It suits you. And most importantly, it does not see your income as fixed, my friends. Because when you do this process, while your money will start to increase automatically, your purchasing power will rise, and as you stop feeling pain in your spending, your creativity will emerge. And this time you will say, why am I not increasing my income? How beautifully I am utilizing my money. If I increase this so much, then I will be able to do what I want more quickly. And automatically, ideas for increasing income will come back to you. Look, pay attention to how right thinking expands you, how it helps you grow. To do this, you might consider the following. If you are working somewhere, I have these and these qualities. Let me sit at a negotiation table where no work is assigned. I can request more time from him. I can ask for a higher salary. I can request him to send me for special training. In a way, you might think that I need to maximize this workplace for myself. This is a way for you to increase your income. Once you have certain capacities and skills, you will sit at the negotiation table more confidently and achieve better results. Or you might think, let me support my business with an alternative job. Yes, I may have to work harder for a while, but in the long run, I could have established my own business. Thus, my dependence on the workplace decreases. When my dependence decreases, I become creative both there and in my own workplace. As a result, something more beautiful actually emerges. This also causes me to expand my spending plan more financially. It leads to a greater sense of comfort in my life. I can achieve my plans, my wealthy life, and my goals in a faster and easier way. As I said, avoid doing 3 things just like yourself. Establish a logical, practical, and reliable financial planning system, and make the right transitions to be able to adhere to this system. That's all I have to say for today. I wish everyone great planning.